Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is, it's Wednesday, right? Wednesday night. Just got home from work. It was a good day. Really good day. And a good day for a number of reasons. Remember last night, man, I was beat up, sore both days, Monday and Tuesday. Today was a little bit easier. I was on the COVID-19 watch thing where for 2 hours I just had to count people coming out of the store, and, you know, just really easy. And I took a lot of classes online tonight, getting qualified for all the forklifts and all that stuff. So anyway, a much easier day than I've had so far, for sure. So anyway, glad to be here. I got some boots today in the mail. These are made by Carhartt. They are steel-toed, but these are the boots that are designed to be on your feet all day on concrete, and I guess they're going to work out. We'll see. I'll test them, let you know. But I haven't even tried them on yet. But boy, I tell you what, the insoles though feel really comfortable, really thick, and it's going to work. I don't want to necessarily wear boots, but I think I have to. It's probably safer. I wore these today, and that was comfortable enough. But anyway, saw Ronnie Craig yesterday. Hello, Ronnie. Sorry I couldn't talk to you. I was doing my job and couldn't leave my post. Saw Jack Knudsen from Six today. Had an interesting little conversation with him. I've come to one theory. Entertainment will get back, but only once sports get back. Maybe smaller entertainment, maybe, but sports have to get back before entertainment will be able to get back. It won't be all entertainment then sports, I don't think. And I do think that there's a push for entertainment, but I think there's a bigger push right now for sports, especially considering that the NFL season's coming around and all that. So we'll see how that all works out down the road. All right. As promised, I am going to talk about something tonight. I'm going to turn the music down just a hair. Hold on. Just a hair. That's some music from the album Wash Over Me, in case you're listening. I wrote some notes out today just because I want to approach this in the right way. This is like a subject that I normally would not approach. I would do everything to avoid approaching it because it doesn't really need to be approached. But given the fact that we're in the situation we're in and everything else, I thought, you know what, maybe it's a good time to just, share my heart, be open and honest. And by all means, you got to understand, this is where I, Ryan Pelton, am coming from. This is not me laying down that this is the way it should be or shouldn't be, that everyone should feel the same way, that everyone's... What happened? My music isn't playing. It's very important to have some music. Gotta have some music. Hold on. Let's try this. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, where was I? Basically, all I'm saying is, this is something personal to me and me only, and it doesn't affect anybody else. And I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm not calling anyone else out. This is me talking about me personally and how I'm maybe a little bit different. All right. And the reason why I'm discussing this is because there have been a lot of people who have said, oh, you should do an online Elvis concert and all this and that. So this is going to be like a real big circle to come back and answer that question, all right? So here we go. This is day, whatever, 22, 23, whatever it is. You can go back probably now for 3 weeks worth of videos. Probably count the number of times I've talked about Elvis in particular, probably on one hand. I've talked about entertainment quite a bit. But Elvis Presley, maybe once or twice, 3 times, 4 times, whatever. And for those of you who know me, you'll know this. For those of you who don't, let me just explain. When I first started in this business, I knew nothing about Elvis, okay? I did not grow up with Elvis in my mind or in my house. Parents who loved Elvis and you know, pushed that on me or guided me towards it. None of that, all right? It just so happened that people thought when I was younger, hey, you kind of look like Elvis. Remarkably enough, that opened so many doors, and I'm so thankful for that. I am. And I've been public about the fact that I was not an Elvis fan when I started this because I didn't know anything about Elvis. You can't be a fan of something you know nothing about, right? But I became a fan of the music, for sure. I enjoy what I do, I really do. But it is out of a place of appreciating Elvis Presley and his music, knowing that it has given me a vehicle to kind of explore a little bit more about myself. And I don't want that to sound conceited. I'm very well aware of the fact that so many blessings in my life would not have occurred were it not for Elvis Presley, his music, his fans that live on today. A lot of those people are out here watching right now. They're Elvis Presley fans. They loved him so much that they're willing to take part of that, just a slim part of it, and put it over here towards me or whoever else. Because Elvis is gone, but his music lives on. The only thing that's not there is a body on stage to perform it. And that is, you know, in a nutshell, what ETAs do. You know, to whatever degree we do it. And you got to understand, there's a part of me, and this is why I don't ever bring it up, there's a part of me that feels as if I will be judged for making this video, for being honest and saying, I love Elvis Presley's music. I do. And there are certain songs that I have on a playlist with many other artists. I like every kind of music. But I don't sit around and listen to Elvis Presley music all the time. I don't watch Elvis Presley movies all the time. I don't obsess about Elvis all the time. I don't. It's been an amazing vehicle that has allowed me to explore different parts of me and entertainment. But when it comes to, you know, doing something live, you know, via video or whatnot, I would much rather do the things, talk about the things, portray the things that Elvis has allowed me to discover about myself versus just doing something that will never ever compare to what the original did. Does that make sense? And it's a weird thing because I know, like, early on in my career, I did feel that there was a certain expectation that because I was doing the Elvis Presley thing and because I looked like him more than most, admittedly, that Ryan Pelton had to, for some reason, be like Elvis. And I think the truth of the matter is, I'm probably not. I don't know. I mean, you know, you can bend any kind of data and make it match what you want, you know. And I know that people have done that. But I don't know how much we were actually alike, you know. And I don't know that it really matters. But there's like this unwritten thing that makes me very uncomfortable, where it's almost as if if you don't comply with certain boundaries or pretend, or maybe it's genuine, maybe some guys are genuine about it, I don't know, but it's almost like you have to portray that Elvis is this thing in your life in order to be able to do this and be successful. And I can honestly tell you and the rest of the world that Elvis is a very important part of what I do. But it's not the end all and be all of who I am, what I want to become in life, and it doesn't define me, even though this is what I do, and even though it has opened so many other doors, you know. I found it really interesting when I took off a couple years. You know, I had started out, I worked with Legends in Concert for a while in Myrtle Beach. Legends in Concert's a very interesting place because it's an impersonator show, but it is a separate entity from the Elvis world. And I really believe that those first years in Myrtle Beach allowed me to begin to learn how to become an entertainer. And of course, I left Legends in Concert, went out on the road, started Ryan Pelton and the Difference, started finding myself in all this. You know, I took so much time focusing on trying to be someone else, and the question had to arise at some point, well, who is Ryan Pelton? You know? And I often say this, not one time in his life or career did Elvis Presley go on stage and say, man, I want to really be like Elvis tonight. Man, I really need to move like Elvis tonight. Man, I want to try to sound like Elvis tonight. Not one time. Not one time. And I think it's ironic that we have these contests that are based upon that very fact. Elvis was the entertainer of the century. He wasn't the singer, vocalist of the century, or actor, or anything else. He was the entertainer of the century. And I've always taken away that Elvis was a great entertainer, and he was, man. That's the thing that drew me into Elvis more than his music, was watching some of his live concerts, and you had a hard time taking your eye off of him. Why? Because he was an entertainer. He knew how to grab you. He knew how to suck you in. And that's all I've ever wanted to be. That's the thing that I saw about Elvis that impressed me. It wasn't how he looked or moved or sang. It wasn't all the accolades or the women or anything. It was, man, it would be awesome to be able to entertain people as naturally as he did. And I've been quoted as saying, I'm a horrible Elvis tribute artist, but I'm a great entertainer. And I don't say very few times will I say I'm good at something. I'm a good entertainer. Probably second-rate Elvis, but I'm a good entertainer. That's what I've always strove to be. And, you know, it's funny, when I went and did the Identical, I was off for 2 years or so and came back. There was a dynamic shift in that short period of time, just a matter of years, where I noticed that Elvis Presley fans were starting to become Elvis tribute artist fans. And for me, that's bizarre. I know out in the Elvis world, certain, you know, and again, this is, I'm not saying anything negative. I'm not passing judgment. It is what it is, and I've been blessed more than anyone. So I'm not holding anyone to the fire or anything, but it does sometimes seem or feel like there's certain groups and sects where it's almost as if Elvis is raised on a pedestal as a god, you know, to be worshipped. And then secondarily, you know, the disciples are this tribute artist or this tribute artist, and let's rate them. And man, somewhere in that whole mix, there's a lot that's lost. And it makes me uncomfortable. It does. And one of many reasons why, when the opportunity came to go back to Legends in Concert, I took it. Because it kind of gets you out of the mix of what it means to be, you know, chin deep in the Elvis world and all the craziness therein. So anyway, all of that being said, which is kind of a rant, and I apologize if it's not exactly a full circle coming back to a point, but there are far more talented people that can go on a camera like this right now and sit down and sing Elvis Presley songs, you know, look like them or dress like them or not, or sound like them or whatever. It's not me. It's not me. But if you want to put me on a stage and do a show and be entertained from that standpoint, yeah, I'm in. Always will be. I would be more apt to sing my own songs, or, you know, a song or two, a cover or two that really has touched me. And some of those songs are Elvis Presley songs, there's no doubt about it. Pieces of My Life is an anthem for me. And it reflects a lot of things that happened in my life when I was younger, you know? It's very close and personal. That's what I would do. I would, you know, do something that's more personal, that speaks of who I am. Because I've never been impressed with myself or any other guy that, you know, is in this business. I respect their talent. I respect everything about what they're doing. But at the end of the day, we are, you know, we have a need to, like, think this through. The best Elvis impersonator in the world is still the best person who is imitating someone else, you know? I've always strived to try to find a way to be more of myself and find out how good that is. And to a degree, I've had some success, and to a larger degree, I've had quite a bit of failures, you know? But I don't know, it's just the way I'm built. Never made a lot of sense to me. I don't know. I don't know if any of this makes any sense. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that will probably judge me in a negative way for saying what I've said. And they have every right to. But you should keep in mind, I'm honestly just sharing my heart, being honest about where it comes from for me. And I think, you know, I do believe that there are guys who have been touched in whatever fashion by Elvis Presley and his music at a young age or whatever. And it is fulfilling to them to be able to take on that role and kind of find their self-worth in that. And I'm not judging that. I don't find my self-worth, though, in performing as Elvis Presley. I find gratification at the fact that I'm able to be an entertainer using the vehicle of Elvis Presley to do that. And while that might sound the same, it's quite different. And conversely, I'm sure that there are guys who will, they'll play the part for the attention or whatever, and that's on them. That's not even what this is all about. So, but anyway, bottom line is, maybe down the road here, I don't know when, maybe we'll get into some music. Maybe we'll get into some, I don't know, stuff I wrote, where it came from and why, and or some songs that mean something to me or whatever. But I'm just not gonna do what everyone else has done because it's the popular thing to do or whatever. I don't seek attention in that way. I'm not saying that other guys are seeking attention in that way. I'm not saying that at all. It's just not me, and it feels like now's probably a good time to just be yourself rather than to be something you're not, but sure would be nice to get back to a stage. That would be awesome. And I don't know. Anyways, well, I hope this didn't confuse you. I know I really didn't articulate probably everything I'm trying to say or where it's coming from or why. And maybe I'll do a better job next time. But anyways, I promised you something interesting. Maybe it was crazy. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I do appreciate all the people who have tuned in. And I do, man. It makes me think, I spend the day watching people, and there's a lot of fear out there. There really is. And it's, you can rationalize that as well-placed fear. You can. But I feel for America, everybody actually in the world. Just my heart goes out to everyone, because no one asked for this, but here we are, and you have to deal with it, And some people are equipped to deal with it better than others. Some people at the very beginning of all this were already in a bad place, and it's tough. But I think the only way we get through this is finding a way every day to just wake up and say, I'm going to do one thing to have a positive impact on somebody else, not myself. I say it all the time, we think internally. We're all just grabbing and pulling stuff in. And it's human nature. But man, make it your goal. Once a day, twice a day. Big day tomorrow, three times, whatever. To take your focus off yourself, push it outward, and care about somebody else for a second, and let them know. And if everybody did that, think about it. All right, I'm gonna go and render out this video and get it up online and take a bath. Probably paint the wine bar tomorrow. Anyway, love you guys. God bless you, man. Good night.